Hey guys, welcome to Boots and Bows Outdoors. Today I'm going to show you how I make my dry rub. In one of my previous videos, don't know if you read some of the comments, but one of them was Troy D was saying, make that rub, make that rub. Well, he's a friend of the family and he's had the rub, and it's apparently was quite a hit with him and the rest of his family too, from what I understand. So today I'm going to show you how I make my rub. It works great on pork. It's excellent on chicken. It's good on some beef. I haven't put it on like a ribeye or a filet because I can't bring myself to doing that. So I'm going to, it's hot in the kitchen already. I'm going to show y'all how I make it and then how I use it on some pork fingers that I'm going to grill up tonight for supper. So on with the show. Okay, this is the rub, what it looks like when it's done. Okay, I just have it in an old spice bottle that was empty. I'm going to start out with a half a cup of brown sugar, and I will put this recipe in the description for you, so you don't have to sit here and take notes. So brown sugar, you can use light or dark. Anybody know what brown sugar, why it's brown? And it's different from unprocessed sugar. That's a different brown sugar. Anybody? I don't see any hands. Feel like I'm teaching again. Brown sugar has had molasses added back to it. Molasses is a byproduct of making sugar. And what they'll do is they'll add a certain amount of molasses, and that'll give you light brown sugar, which is what I'm using. Why? Because it's what I had on hand. Dark brown sugar has more molasses added to it, so it's darker. This is a little lighter tasting. I hate to use the word light, but it does have a slightly different taste than dark brown sugar, but it's just regular light brown sugar. Okay. The other ingredients we're going to be adding: paprika. Got the gourmet paprika. Woohoo! I just needed a bottle of paprika. My wife went all out. Got the gourmet. Smoked paprika. Kosher salt. Probably any coarse salt would do. I just happen to, I like the kosher. I learned how to season with it. Works well for me. Black pepper, and no, I'm not going to sit here with a pepper mill and grind out a tablespoon of black pepper. Granulated onion, granulated garlic. This is something that kind of surprises a lot of people, but I put ground cinnamon in my rub. A lot of rubs use cayenne pepper and chili powder and chili peppers and all this other stuff. Again, remember, I'm Cajun, but I'm Cajun from Central Louisiana. Don't really like spicy. We never did spicy. But just cinnamon adds just enough kick to it, along with a teaspoon of ground mustard, that you have this underlying tone of heat, I guess, along with the paprika. Although none of these in themselves are really a hot spice, but they're hot enough. It's not going to cross your eyes. Okay, so I'm going to break out the measuring spoons. I am not sure where these came from, if it was from my family or my wife's family, but you can see they have been around for a while and they have stood the test of time. So we're going to add two tablespoons. This is one of the few things you'll actually see me measuring out when I'm cooking, is this, unless I'm baking something, and I rarely bake. I'm not enthralled with baking. I don't mind eating the stuff, I just don't like doing the baking. Okay, so 2 tablespoons of gourmet paprika, 1 tablespoon of smoked paprika, which we're going to have to hit the store up and get another bottle of this. Okay. Put that on the list. A tablespoon of kosher salt. I have quite full. Okay. Tablespoon of pepper. It's got this thing where you can put the spoon at the top. Doesn't fit. So we'll just pour it out. Then a tablespoon of onion powder. Okay, and the reason I'm putting it in a mixer and not just throwing it in a jar and just shaking it up, South Louisiana is hot, it's humid. If you look in my jar, you can see the clumps from the onion, granulated onion. A lot of our stuff does this. In fact, when I go to use the rub, every time before I use it, I have to sit there and shake the bottle up pretty good just to mix up, get the clumps out. A tablespoon of garlic. Love garlic. Then we'll switch over to the teaspoon. Get us a teaspoon of cinnamon. Cinnamon. Wipe the teaspoon off because the cinnamon is a powder and it has a tendency to stick to the measuring spoon, and we don't want it infecting the mustard, which the mustard sometimes sticks to it as well. Okay. Okay, those are the ingredients. You can, adjust these as you see fit. I mean, this is a recipe I found on the internet, and like some of the ingredients, didn't like some of the ingredients. Changed things up, added my stuff, and started making it, and came out just the way I wanted. All right, noise alert, I'm getting ready to kick this mixer on. I'm going to be pulsing it a few times. I'm not sitting here just grinding away. I'm just pulsing just to get it to mix up, and if there's any large hunks of the spices that are still clumped together, hopefully that'll break them up. I don't know if you're going to see it, but there's a big lump of something and it keeps jumping up. Alright, I don't see the lump jumping anymore, so we're going to say that's good. take our bottle, put it here. This should work. This is actually my wife's canning funnel. She uses when she cans things. Found the lump, broke it up. Look like onion powder. Okay, so I'm going to take my cutter out carefully. Go up a little bit. Take the cutter out of here carefully and knock the stuff to the side. There's another lump. Bust that up. My fingers, you can see the. I'm not sure how it looks. It light kind of is bright. Let me kick it down some. Yeah, it's more to the natural color. Okay, and then I'm going to hold this and pour this into the bottle. See, there's some stuff caked at the bottom. So I'm going to take my today the humidity actually is low for around here. The last I checked it was like at 62%. Usually we're 90 to 100%. I mean, I'm standing in a kitchen and there's air conditioning and I'm sweating. Of course, if I move, I sweat. So, all right, then I'll take it. That's what it looks like in a jar because it scraped off the bottom. Just to take the jar, do some shaking, and I'll shake it every time I go to use it, just to remove any clumps and to make sure everything is mixed. You shouldn't really have anything settling. I don't know if any of the spices are, drastically heavier than other spices that would cause them to settle out, but just in case, put the stuff in the sink. So I've used dry rubs before and had really no idea what I was doing. With dry rubs, if you just put them on meat, it's not really going to stick a lot of times unless the meat's exceptionally moist. Pork is usually a fairly moist meat, but just to help it along and to enhance the flavor, we are going to take a little bit of Worcestershire sauce, Worcestershire sour sauce, and we're going to sprinkle it on the meat, like so. Okay, and then the reason I'm using this plate is because it's lip, so just the Worcestershire sauce will stay in the plate. It's not going to drip out. We'll make sure all sides of this pork has Worcestershire sauce on it. Okay. Then when we wash my hand handling either utensils or spice bottles or anything like that, because you can cause some cross-contamination. So I'll take my spice mix. I take the top off. It's got holes in it for sprinkling, but I just do it like this. Okay, there goes a big clump, and I'm just gonna generously sprinkle it onto the meat. Okay. Hope y'all are catching this. I'll move y'all in close and turn you down some. Okay, so I'm just sprinkling on the meat. Then we're going to pat it down. Notice I'm using my left hand for this. The spice mix is in my right hand. Break that up. Okay. Then we'll turn these over. Some's going to fall off, there's no doubt. guys we're just going to flip this way. And we'll spread some more of the rub on there. And again, if you could smell this, it's oh my goodness. Sprinkle a little bit on this side here. Make sure we got everything coated. You know, if you just want to coat two sides, that's fine. I mean, that's all I do when I do pork chops or chicken. I'm trying to coat the edges. It's just these are somewhat square, so I'll coat them like so. And that's it. Then I'm going to stick these in the fridge, let them sit. The coating is going to stick on there quite well, and then later this evening I'll throw them on the pit. And if y'all are good, I'll show you what they look like. Alright, bye. Okay guys, I've just pulled the pork fingers off the grill. They are looking mighty delicious. Let's dive into one. White meat is, beautiful coloration. I mean, this is just absolutely delicious. Good stuff. Dinner.